Live from the Man Cave, treadmills and tangents with Coach Aaron Cerrone and his army of wellness warriors. Live in discussion of all things health and wellness, along with community topics they happen to stumble upon.
Good morning, Omaha. Coach again coming at you live from the Man Cave. This is Treadmills and Tangents, your health and wellness show right here on The Answer. My wellness team, my wellness warriors.
Warriors!
Not just a team, they're my warriors.
We're excited early in the morning. Sorry.
Sam and Cam and Tim are here. It is early in the morning, 9 a.m. to be exact.
That is exactly what time
You got
it
a
is.
Q on your hat. What's the Q for?
I don't know. So, I'll throw it out there. So
Who
his
walks
not
around with a hat with just a random Q on it?
Apparently Tim does.
If y'all will let me answer, dang.
Well, you said you didn't know.
I do know.
What do you know?
It
Do you
is
know?
so
Do you know?
my friend at work. So when we went to Thailand, you guys remember we had the passport issue.
Cameron just leaned back and looked at the back of your head.
Yeah, because it tells Quakes.
So the Quakes.
So when we went to Thailand, I had the little passport issue. So my friend who flew out and brought me my passport in Chicago.
Hold on. Let's clarify this
Little
passport
backstory
issue.
here.
So a few of us went to Thailand in January. Myself and Sam and Tim and one of our students, Maddie, went to Thailand to train. It was an opportunity of a lifetime. We went for 2 weeks to train.
Awesome
And
trip.
we drove up to Chicago because we didn't want to risk missing an international flight. We knew there might be some weather. So we drove to Chicago, and we were in line. And we got there early enough.
We were first in line.
Yeah, first in line.
We were first. We got there early enough. They hadn't even started checking the international flight. We were first in line. Everything was perfect. And I'm standing there, and Tim pulls out his passport. And I noticed there's 2 holes punched in it.
It's not good.
And I said, "Oh, you brought your old one too?" And the look of horror on his face when he realized that we were standing in line for our international flight, and he forgot his current passport.
7.5 hours from home.
7.5 hours from home. So needless to say, Tim and Sam showed up a day late on our trip.
This is that time.
And a few $100 short.
This is that time in life when you can laugh at it now.
Correct. So my friend.
I wanted to laugh at you then, but I felt so bad for you at the same time.
It was also Martin Luther King weekend, so all the same-day passport places were closed because there was supposed to be one in the airport, which was not open. The card was definitely stacked against me. So I have a great friend at work. Obviously, we have a young son, so it would have been hard for my wife to fly out. So she flies out, brings me my passport. So her daughter plays on the Nebraska Quakes softball team that her husband coaches. This is the hat of that.
This
softball
is how it
team.
all ties in.
They're playing in Kansas City.
Tim being a jackball turns into him wearing a Quakes hat for the rest of his life to show appreciation.
They're playing in Kansas City in a tournament this weekend. So
somebody.
usually when they play, I wear the hat and follow their games online. And so I'm wearing a hat with a Q in the front, Quakes on the
Actually,
back.
one of the girls on the softball team that trains at the gym has wore a Quake shirt the other day.
So there you go. So there's a few different levels of Quakes. So
Different Quakes.
This is the 14U team. So there's a 16 and over team and such. And so Q for Quakes.
Q for Quakes.
Tim forgot his passport.
Tim being a nitwit.
And I digress.
I digress. Speaking of digress, let's talk Amazon. So Amazon has a secret team.
Oh, we're talking about the website where I order stuff and it shows up in 2 days?
That Amazon. Okay. But Mr. Bezos, the richest man in the history of richest men, he's worth like 120 bill.
That's with a B.
With a B. Billion.
$1 billion.
Yeah. So he hired the former FDA exec for a secret healthcare team. They call it it's only known as 1492.
When Columbus sailed the ocean blue.
Yeah, so the FDA's first chief of health informatics officer, Taha Kashut. I'm not sure if that's a male or female. Taha? What do you think?
I'm going to say male.
I should have looked that up. Anyway, the e-commerce giant reportedly brought... Oh, him. I should read the whole article. Read the full question, idiot. The e-commerce giant reportedly brought him in on the board to work under former Google ex-director Babak Parviz in the business development role. The role remains a mystery throughout the company, apparently. LinkedIn profile describes him as a physician executive empowering consumers via sustainable health data ecosystems. So Amazon's got something going on.
Well, they bought Whole Foods.
They always got something going on. They bought Whole Foods
a while ago. So is this? They're starting to get like Apple. Like they're going to have some.
Well, I think it's more a way to access medical health histories and things like that, making data more accessible. So that when you have medical issues, anybody can see it. I don't know, but something's cooking. Something's cooking on the Amazon ranch.
Something to watch out in that future.
Some black box stuff's going on.
Dun, dun, dun,
you might be able to order your doctor through Amazon now.
I wouldn't put it past him.
He'll show up in 2 days.
Hopefully,
hopefully they get a speedier service
having a
because
heart attack. We'll be there in 2 days.
you're going to get that email like
There's the reviews.
there's been a hurricane in Florida, so it might be an extra day delay. And
Those
by
who
then,
also looked at heart attack, we're interested in.
yellow fever's hit and it's all over.
No doubt. No doubt. So you guys have heard of Dr. Axe?
Yes,
Dr. Axe.
not the body spray, just so we're all clear.
So, okay, no then.
There's nothing wrong with it.
I thought I smelled a 12-year-old boy in here. I couldn't figure it. It's Cam. Okay.
Why are you smelling a 12-year-old boy?
Because Cam wears Axe body spray, and that's what 12-year-old boys
Moving
wear.
on.
That's what.
And we digress again.
I work in school,
So
I know these things.
Dr. Axe is kind of like an Oz wannabe. Like they're kind of, rich and famous doctors who are trying to make it in media and entertainment as well. So Dr. Axe is pushing bone broth. You guys heard of bone broth?
I have heard, yes.
I have.
Well, everybody's heard of bone broth. It's called soup.
What?
Yeah, and it's been around for,
Eons.
I mean, since
So
the dead
bone
time.
broth, it's the same as stock, chicken stock, rib stock, whatever it is. It's just you take whatever animal you're cooking, and then once all the meat's off of it, you continue to simmer the bones for hours on end, 24, 48 hours, till it basically turns into nothing, and then you have a very nutrient-rich soup. So it is very healthy for you,
Absolutely.
no doubt. It's incredibly healthy for you. All the collagen comes out of the bones, but this is nothing new. Like it's a fad. You guys see it over at Hy-Vee. Fads come and go, and you guys are stocking bone broth in force right now.
Oh,
aren't you?
in force. I mean, people are coming in buying it like crazy because of this.
Marketing is an interesting thing.
Well, come to find out, Dr. Axe owns one of the companies, Ancient Nutrition, that supplies bone broth and bone broth powders in the form of protein powders. But people are drinking bone broth. I actually texted Dr. Brad Winterstein, one of our students, who's a bariatric surgeon over at Methodist, and I just went, Dr. Brad, bone broth, thoughts, was all I texted. And he sent me back a picture of like 6 gallons of bone broth in his pantry. He goes, I'm in. I'm like, all right.
That's a large pantry.
Simple
But
answer.
he did say, he said, look, it's all anecdotal evidence. There's no hard evidence to it. So speaking of evidence, what are they saying bone broth does? Well, you name it. They're trying to say bone broth fixes it. Protects the joints. Good for the gut. Fixes leaky gut, which we'll talk about.
My favorite one is helps cellulite.
Helps cellulite, maintain healthy skin support. That's the collagen in it. Supports immune system function. Boosts detoxification. Aids in metabolism. Fixes, I mean, you
What
name
doesn't
it.
it do?
They're trying, what doesn't it do?
Cook me breakfast.
Well, it is breakfast. There's a place in New York that actually all they sell is bone broth. It's like the soup Nazi. You walk up, you get your little thing, you get your bone broth in a coffee cup and walk off, and you're drinking hot soup. It's just soup, guys. It's been around forever. Anybody's this grew up with their grandmother, been around with their grandmother. Soup has been a staple of human diets forever. And you would boil the bones because you didn't, especially in a time of like the Depression and times like that, you would use every piece of food you could use. So you would boil the bones so there was nothing left, because that was you could live off of just the soup and the stock. So it is very nutrient dense. There's lots of vitamins and minerals, of collagen. Now, the idea that collagen, by eating collagen, you help your joints because collagen helps joints, that's not how the body works. I hope everybody understands that. Like collagen is a protein. It's a very amino acid rich protein, and your body will break it down and use it as such. It doesn't take collagen. It's like the same reason that you don't eat fat, it becomes fat. It doesn't work like that, right? Your body breaks it down and then uses it as it needs it. So it breaks down collagen into amino acids and will use it as whatever building blocks it needs. So I don't know. It's all anecdotal, meaning there's nothing proven behind it. People are buying it like crazy, though. Now, Dr. Axe, again, owns Ancient Nutrition, and that company just so happens to have seen a $100 million influx from investors in the last few months. So they're really they're gonna make a big push to get into the market.
It's all coincidental.
Not anecdotal, coincidental. Tim has a dictionary open right now.
Yep.
And a thesaurus.
I would say, I don't know. Sam, you probably know better. You see what the market does in terms of nutrition and supplements over in the organic section in Hy-Vee. I mean, is this? Do you think this is a fad, or do you think it's coming and going?
I think it's a fad. It's only picked up in, I would say, the last, 6 months or so. And it already seems to be kind of slowing down a little bit. I mean, it's still selling pretty good, but
do you think that's because there's just not enough players in the market, or it came? I mean, you guys have Marky Mark stuff in there.
Oh yeah,
right
Marky
now.
Mark.
How's that still going?
It's slowed down a little bit, but it's still going strong. It's doing pretty decent.
For those of you that don't know Marky Mark, or the younger crowd, we're talking about Mark Wahlberg and his supplement line.
Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch.
What?
Which, by the way, he hates being called Marky Mark. apparently.
Why should he hate becoming Marky Mark? That's why
That's how he started.
I was only told that.
You got to own it, man.
It made him. I would own it.
I mean, don't get me wrong. His trajectory has been skyrocketing since the Marky Mark days, but he was also in a lot of trouble in those times, too. That's my understanding.
Different fella.
Yeah, so fix a lot of things. Leaky gut. I got curious about leaky gut. What is leaky gut? Dr. Axe has a book about how to fix leaky gut called Eat Dirt. And so leaky gut is any issue with the lining of your small intestine. So if it becomes damaged and food can actually permeate it, get into your bloodstream before it's fully digested, and that causes a toxic situation in which bacteria leaks through the intestines into the bloodstream. So yeah, leaky gut. But the fact that bone broth can fix an issue with the lining of your small intestine, I'm not sure how that would even work. If you got a good healthy diet, you're getting all the things you need that bone broth would provide anyway. So I'm not sure.
It's almost like they're trying to market it like a quick fix. You know, like all these like the wraps and some of that stuff. Like
that's what all nutrition fads,
right? Like oh, you take this and it's going to fix.
Yeah, right, Flex Seal for the gut.
Exactly. Or you wrap yourself and look.
Put a little Flex Seal on it, you're good.
You throw a wrap on it, and in 5 minutes
WD-40
you've lost all this weight. We're like,
cut this gut in half.
Well, most nutrition fads are just that. They're fads. People are trying to take advantage of something popular and get it out there as fast as you can. And then whether there's any science behind it or not, people are going to buy it if they think it works. Maybe there's a placebo effect. It definitely can't hurt. I mean, drinking broth is not going to hurt you.
Sure.
I would be careful if you just try to drink different broths, because a lot of it when it's canned is high in sodium, incredibly high in sodium, so be careful there. But you can make it yourself. Just put a pot of water on, throw some carrots, celery, and onions, salt and pepper, and throw a chicken in it and just let it go. And just let it boil till, not even boil, you just simmer it for a couple of days, and then you got broth. And drink it.
Boom. Magic.
It is magic. It's almost like we should do that and sell it.
Our grandparents... Our grandparents were on to something. Who said they were crazy? But yeah, so bone broth, check it out. I mean, I would say check it out. If you like it and you think it works for you, go for it. I wouldn't say avoid it. I would just be careful how much you pay for it. It's not hard to make. It's a little time consuming, but it's not hard to make. So yeah, bone broth. You guys gonna try it? What do you think?
Yeah, I think we should try it.
I mean, who knows? The food truck might drop something off someday.
The food truck. We might have to put a request in for some bone broth on the food truck. I don't know, man. Drinking soup, I think it would get old. I read an article where a lady was like, I'm going to try this bone broth thing. Let's see what it's all about. And by like day 3, she was like, I don't want any more bone broth.
I'm sure it's got to be tiring.
One of the students at the gym, Amanda, who we've talked about before.
She drinks bone broth?
She doesn't do bone broth, but she'll go to that, there's like Vietnamese restaurant over by the gym, and she'll go and just buy their broth. So I can't say whether it's bone broth or not. I'm not sure what it's made of.
It's all bone broth.
So what she'll do, though, is she'll go decide, hey, I'm going to fast this week. And that is like the only thing she'll have besides water and black coffee is
so that's not really fasting.
It's
more of a liquid diet.
Whatever you want to call it. We're not getting into semantics over here.
Tim just rolled his eyes at me. We might throw a flag on that.
How come I'm the only one that has ever done push-ups on this show?
We're doing
anyway,
because you're the only one that acts up, don't know how to act right. You walk around with a damn Q on your head, don't even know what it means.
I know what it means. No one just let me answer answer the question.
Did it?
See, now you're making fun of people with a speech impediment. I feel like that is flag worthy.
That might be flag worthy.
That's not nice.
Here's what I'll do. I'm going to double flag. Both of you give me 20.
20?
Okay, give me 10. 20 total. Both of you give me 10, and we'll call it fair and square.
You're going to be a good friend to get in on this with us?
I'm going to talk to Cam because you guys were hogging the mic, and Cam didn't get to talk. What do you think about bone broth, Cam?
Well, I have no idea, but
I'm definitely
I can always count on
it
Cam for a profound answer on the show. Well,
I'm not going to lie to you.
Well, I really don't know. And that's just that.
Pretty much.
So I think
it's worth a try.
The goal this week, we're all going to separate. We're going to try bone broth.
Okay. Yeah.
And we'll report back. Whether you make it yourself or you buy it. They do have it at some of the Hy-Vees in your guys, right, Sam? They also have bone broth powder, which is really just protein powder. I'm not call it whatever you want.
It's going to show up on Rachel Ray soon.
Well, if it's on Rachel Ray, then you know it's legit.
Yep.
Rachel Ray.
If it's on Jerry Springer, it's actually legit.
No.
It'll get thrown at somebody.
What if Rachel Ray's on Springer drinking bone broth?
Ooh. I'll buy it.
That's going to break the internet.
I'll buy that for the dollar.
That's going to break the internet.
And then she just starts throwing bombs.
Ellen comes out. This is going to get crazy.
Whoa.
Daytime TV will never be the same.
Starts chucking bone broth everywhere. All right, guys, we're going to take a quick break. Treadmills and Tangents right here on The Answer, 94.5 FM, 1420 AM. We'll be right back. And welcome back, everybody, to Treadmills and Tangents, your health and wellness talk show right here on The Answer. I have a special guest today. I have Dr. Burke Noel, owner of Allure Dental in La Vista on 84th, right across from the new La Vista City Center they're putting in. And Burke, welcome. Thanks for coming on the show.
Well, thank you for having me.
I want to talk dental a little bit because part of health and wellness, I think we forget about our teeth sometimes. We always think about physical fitness and nutrition. So it's been drilled in our head since we were kids. Brush and floss every day. Brush and floss, brush and floss. Is that really enough just to keep good mouth health and dental health?
It's a very good start. It's a necessary evil to go ahead and brush, floss, which people usually don't do, but they say they do. But a lot of it has to do with your health and diet.
So our diet does affect our teeth, the health of our teeth.
Yes, absolutely. A lot of people don't realize that your mouth is part of your body. People that have poor diets typically have poor teeth.
Now, what is it that's missing from the diet that causes poor tooth health?
A lot of it's decay, and decay is caused from bacteria that uses either a sugar or a carbohydrate. Those are broken down into acids from the bacteria, and those acids are what dissolve the minerals away from your enamel.
So sugar and carbs in our diet not only affects us in terms of blood sugar and fat and obesity, but that's a direct result of tooth decay.
Absolutely.
Now, is there anything else in the diet? Like if I'm eating a good, healthy diet, besides the sugar, is there a tooth health? Like, is there something or, things like minerals in our diet? Does that have a big factor in our tooth health?
A lot of your tooth is developed by the age of 5, the enamel. You still need minerals to help. They're part of your, just like bones. You need calcium, phosphorus, other minerals that help strengthen bones. They will help strengthen teeth. But enamel, it doesn't regrow. It can somewhat remineralize a little bit, but it doesn't regrow itself like bone does. It doesn't turn over. And so a lot of your teeth, as they're developing, you need that good diet of minerals.
Okay, so the multivitamin, the minerals.
Multivitamins, minerals, milk.
Huge for your teeth. It
Absolutely.
does the body good, does your teeth good. What still amazes you to this day? I mean, how long have you been in the dental practice at this point?
I graduated dental school in 97, so that's 21 years.
So 21 years. You're 21 years in, and you already acknowledge people don't floss enough. But what still amazes you when people walk in and you're like, I can't believe people still do this or don't do that?
A lot of it's still the brushing and flossing. They
just
come
the
in
basics.
And you see their gum tissue completely red and bleeding, and you know that the only reason their teeth are somewhat clean is because they had a dental appointment, and so 2 days prior they
start brushing.
They start brushing and flossing.
What is it that you think, as kids, it's drilled in our head, brush, 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 but is there an age where you see that start to fall off? Is there like a typical age where people generally stop brushing as regular as they should?
I kind of see cycles. Early on, kids just don't have the manual dexterity to brush correctly.
So they get frustrated and stop?
Get frustrated. They go in, they wet their toothbrush in the sink, and then they tell their mom and dad that they brush their teeth.
My kids do that. I've caught them doing that, no doubt.
I used to do it as a kid, too. And then you go through a period where they start to get it. They'll brush. They may not brush 100% correctly. A lot of it has to do with time. They go in and they brush for 30 seconds and think they did a good job, but it's really, 2 minutes is an adequate time to brush.
Yeah, I have an electric toothbrush, and it's got an automatic timer. It'll cycle at 2 minutes, let you know you've been brushing for 2 minutes, and then keep going again.
Yeah, you can either put a stopwatch or even play a song on the radio.
Sure, my kids have this little thing that they press it, and music starts playing, and then the song will play for 2 minutes. Yep. That seems to be the magic number, 2 minutes.
Yeah, there's only so much you're going to remove. I mean, you could brush for 10 minutes and still not remove any more than you did in 2 minutes.
So there's really no benefit after about 2 minutes. Right. You've done as best as you're probably going to do at that point.
Exactly.
They start as kids and they fall off. Where do they usually see it pick it back up? Because to me, I feel like I'll be the first to admit I'll go in cycles myself where I'm hitting it every day, and then it's like every other day, and I'm hitting it again every day. And it's mostly just you get busy. Like you forget to do it. And like I keep the toothbrush in my shower. Mm-hmm. So when I'm in the shower, I look up, there's a toothbrush, I grab it and start brushing. That way I have less of a chance of forgetting to do it.
Yeah, it's unrealistic to have someone carry a toothbrush around with them and brush 3-4 times a day.
Or ideally after every meal.
After every meal, after every piece of candy you have, after every glass of milk you have. Being realistic, it's brushing in the morning before you leave for work, brushing at night before you go to bed. That will be adequate.
I follow nutrition, I follow fitness. There's always advancements, studies going on. We're learning about the body all the time. What's new in dental right now? Like, you don't hear about it. It's like, brush and floss, but you don't hear about this revolutionary breakthrough. Now, I've read that they are starting to try to use stem cells more in dental. What's going on there?
They've been studying stem cells for a long time, and it's a very difficult procedure to extract the stem cells from your body. The last study I read was basically they're taking stem cells from wisdom teeth that have been removed, extracting those stem cells.
Because they're your teeth anyway.
They're your teeth. Replanting that stem cell back into that area, hopefully have a tooth.
So they're actually trying to do...
That's what they're trying to do.
A test tube tooth,
yep,
for lack of a better term.
Basically, replacing a tooth by planting a seed in your gums, regrowing another tooth.
Have they had success with that?
Very limited.
Now, I thought I read that they're trying to treat cavities with stem cells as well. Is the idea that you just inject stem cells in the empty space and it...
Basically, bacteria causes cavities. And my opinion is that if you can eradicate yourself of that bacteria in your mouth, your decay rate's going to go down.
Sure.
You're still going to have problems of breaking teeth as function, but as in a disease status of cavities, my opinion, if you can rid the bacteria, then that'd be the ideal thing. I'm hoping that at some point we'll come to inoculations or something that will help kill bacteria in your mouth.
Now, does something like Listerine actually do an adequate job of killing bacteria?
Listerine has a high alcohol content, and that does actually kill bacteria. There's a few mouth rinses that actually kill bacteria. A lot of them don't have the alcohol content to kill it, so they basically reduce the population in your mouth by swishing around. That bacteria gets caught up in the rinse, and then you spit it out.
Oh, so you're not really killing anything. You're just
not killing
removing.
Anything. You're reducing the population.
That's interesting. No. Besides cavities, I mean, I'd imagine cavities are still the big issue you see. Is there anything else that you see that's very common amongst people in terms of mouth health?
Well, there's obviously periodontal disease, which is bone tissue and gum loss around your teeth resulting from tartar that's built up around it. And that tartar essentially is a calcified form of plaque. It still has a live bacteria population, which underneath your gum tissue, you're only able to brush so far underneath your gum tissue and remove that. And as what happens, it builds up on your teeth, and then the chemicals given off by that bacteria causes the bone to recede around and eventually you'll end up with no bone support, and your teeth will become loose, and you'll end up losing them.
So it's really brushing, and that's where the flossing comes in, and then the rinsing on top of it.
And there are a lot of studies that have shown that flossing... there was one, I think, last year that came out that said flossing is absolutely no good. I believe that if you're flossing, it's better than not flossing. But my opinion is that you're probably smearing a lot of that bacteria along the root surface and not actually removing the bacteria.
Interesting. So you maybe even driving it deeper.
You could be driving it deeper underneath your gum tissue. You're definitely removing the thick layer of plaque, but you're still leaving a biofilm of plaque. That's a really thin layer on your root surface. They have actually shown studies that the air flosser or water picks tend to work better than flossing.
Because it's pushing stuff away rather than...
Yeah, the water pick works well in removing big, large amounts of debris. I don't think it really has the power to completely remove that smear layer. And a smear layer is basically just a real thin layer left behind. And
the odds are we can never probably get rid of.
Right. And the air flosser is something that it emits a quick burst of aerosol fluid that you have in the tub. It can either be a mouthwash like Listerine, or it can be water. And that quick burst actually disrupts that biofilm layer.
Oh, wow. So water pick or airsoft pick, better than flossing.
Right.
Now, I'll admit, flossing, the old school flossing where you pull out 100 yards of fishing line, and that's a pain in the butt. But they've come out with the smaller ones where you can just put the little floss head.
It takes a lot of manual dexterity to floss correctly.
Yeah, and I can see why kids don't want to do it.
Yeah,
I don't want to do it.
And they don't. And it's unrealistic to expect them to.
You see a lot of ads for teeth whitening. Mm-hmm. And white teeth, and now they got those little ultraviolet things you put in your mouth. How white should teeth really be? Like, it seems like people want this bleach white, and I get it cosmetically and aesthetically. Like, the bleach white teeth is what we try for, but to me that doesn't seem, teeth shouldn't be that white.
The color of your teeth are usually with you forever. When you were born with baby teeth, they're a lot whiter than your permanent teeth. When you develop permanent teeth, they're a little darker, and it's more of a cosmetic stigma of whiter teeth look prettier, they look more healthy, just more attractive.
So the color of your teeth really is not indicative of the health of your teeth?
Absence of decay and...
Sure. Absence of a rotten looking tooth.
Yeah. Right. Absence of holes.
Got
in
one
teeth.
black tooth. Looks good. Keep going. All right. Okay, I mean, but if my teeth are like an off-white, that doesn't mean they're less healthy
Absolutely not.
than the bleach white.
And
You see.
bleach is you're putting a caustic agent on your tooth to aesthetically enhance them for other people to see. The color of your teeth has no bearing on the health of your teeth.
Now, is there danger, like if I'm using some of these whitening agents, of like damaging the enamel and damaging the structure of the tooth?
Absolutely. When you put bleach on anything, you tend to see it erode a top layer of that, like on concrete. Over time, you're going to see that concrete layer be removed, exposing some of the underlying rocks and matrix of the.
It destroys clothes. It destroys it. Hell.
Yeah, it's a caustic agent, and you're basically removing some of your enamel layer every time you do it. And it opens up they call pores, but they're basically tubules, little tubes that go from the inside of your tooth where the nerve is to the outside. You have little nerve fibers that run through those tubes. Under normal circumstances, you have those tubes kind of blocked in with plaque debris or normal closure of those tubes. Well, the bleach actually removes that and opens those tubes up, lending to sensitivity.
So you might be whitening your teeth, but at the same time, you're opening yourself up potentially to failure, and that you're more susceptible to the bacteria getting in and then the decay starting.
A lot of it's, I think the bleach, the concentration, you're killing bacteria while you're bleaching, but the problem is you're opening up those tubules, which makes them hypersensitive. Over time, if you stop bleaching after a week or so, those tubules will close up and sensitivity usually goes away, but there's a chance you could cause your tooth to be so sensitive that the nerve doesn't heal itself. It can become irreversible, which could lead to needing a root canal.
So you could be doing nerve damage.
Yeah, you could be doing nerve damage too.
Now let me ask you this. You read that you used to use lead fillings.
Mm-hmm.
For anybody that's older listening that might have a lead filling, like how critical is it to get that replaced? Or is there a real danger in having a lead filling? Or is that more conspiracy theory or just...
Even as of today, mercury fillings are still used. They're called amalgams, or the silver fillings that you see in your teeth.
Which I have a mouthful.
They've been around for 150 years, and so it's kind of hard to disprove that it's not a good product, but with recent developments and obviously tooth-colored fillings, you tend to get away from, mercury is not a good substance to use in your body anyways.
Anyway, right. But is there a real danger in that leaching into your blood or leaching?
You actually get more mercury released into your body when you try to remove the filling than if you just leave it as is.
So it's kind of like asbestos. As long as you leave it alone, it's fine.
As long as you don't touch it, don't disturb it.
When you start messing with it, now you got issues.
Yeah. You get a little dose of mercury when you're putting the filling in. It will stabilize. When you remove it, you're actually aerosoling that causing that mercury to become an aerosol. It actually gets absorbed into your tooth and into your body as you're doing that. If you have a silver filling and nothing's wrong with it, you don't have any decay, you can take them out for aesthetic reasons, but just beware that you are putting some more mercury in your body by removing them, and just leave them alone.
Interesting. And now they have, like you said, the colored or the tooth-colored fillings. You can't even tell.
Tooth-colored fillings have been around for 40 years probably.
Right.
Or longer.
I wish I would have known that. I got the
mouthful
of lead.
Yeah, they're always, they're not free of harm either. There's chemicals in the tooth-colored filling materials that aren't really bio-friendly.
Do you ever think we'll get to a time where there might be an inoculation? There's something we can do where we can put like a coating on our teeth that will render them impermeable to cavities?
Yeah, I don't know if it would render them impermeable. It's a lot of, I actually read a study that they're using bioactive fillers in the composite filling, meaning that your body knows that it's there versus something inert, and bacteria actually doesn't like that. Mixed in with these composite fillings placed in your tooth, the bacteria doesn't accumulate around those fillings. It actually deters the buildup of bacteria around those fillings. And that's usually where you have problems, is you put a filling in, it's good for 5, 6, 7, 10 years, and then you end up having to replace the filling. And it's usually not because you break the filling, it's because you get a cavity around the filling, and you have to remove the filling, remove the decay, and put a bigger filling in, basically. It'd be nice to see further improvements with this. When you place that filling in, it actually is causing the bacteria not to be attracted to that area and causing decay.
Oh, crazy. So you basically create an environment less suitable to future cavities and whatnot. I never thought about a filling potentially attracting more cavities.
You're never going to get it 100% smooth. And so it will always have some micro surface texture that plaque will stick to. And the filling never gets 100% ingrained into the tooth, so there's always a little gap where capillary action can pull fluid in between the filling and the tooth structure. And that's what the leakage is as the composite in itself shrinks as it's cured. And so when you place it into the tooth, there is some
it's not airtight. Yeah.
Microscopic shrinkage. And that
Interesting.
Microscopic shrinkage allows a little space in between the tooth and the filling, and then over time the plaque accumulates around the filling and the tooth, gets sucked down in between the filling and the tooth where you're not able to brush it away. Your Listerine is not killing it, and it just starts to populate and cause new cavities.
Wow, crazy. Well, Burke, thank you for talking to us a little bit. And I guess the takeaway for me is brushing is not enough. Flossing may not be the best thing to do. Go for the water pick or the air pick, and then there actually is some value in Listerine and actually killing off the bacteria.
Now, I think if people just realize that their mouth is connected to their body, if you watch your diet intake of sugar and carbohydrates, they both turn into acids when they're broken down.
Yeah, just another reason to cut the garbage out of your diet, the sugar and the carbs. It's just poor tooth health.
The healthier lifestyle you have, typically the healthier teeth you have.
Well, Burke, thanks a lot. You guys check out Allure Dental right on 84th, just south of Harrison and across from the new La Vista City Center that they're building. Burke, thanks a lot. You're listening to Treadmills and Tangents, your health and wellness show right here on The Answer. We'll be back right after this. And welcome back, everybody, to Treadmills and Tangents, your health and wellness show right here in The Answer. You're live with Coach here in the man cave with my wellness warriors. Timmy, what's trending on Twitter? What's tweeting? What's twitting? What's
we got a couple
whatever
of
it's
things.
called anymore?
Just pulled up, looked up health and fitness trending.
Trending.
So there were a couple of things that popped up that I found interesting in the top 5. So one is some top natural painkillers.
Natural painkiller.
The other was good fats versus bad fats. What do you guys think? What do you guys want to talk
Let's
about?
talk painkiller. I'm always in the mood for a good painkiller.
So I will tell you what this says, the natural...
Trending on Twitter. Natural painkiller.
Right. So we'll start with... So garlic is can be made into a special oil for earaches.
The property in garlic is allicin, the chemical that comes out of garlic. And actually more of it comes out the finer you chop it. So like pressed garlic, chopped garlic, the garlic oil, there's more of the allicin comes out that actually provides all the benefits that garlic can have. And garlic does a lot of stuff. Mm-hmm. I mean, chronic fatigue, high blood pressure, cholesterol. They've shown that it helps fight cancers. You name it. Garlic's it. So bite off a clove of garlic and chomp it down.
It doesn't say what the recipe to do so, but that was number 1. So the second one is cloves are good for toothache and gum inflammation.
And not just smoking. Cloves. What kind of cloves, though?
It doesn't say.
Are there different kinds of cloves?
There's just a picture of some brown cloves. So I'm not sure what they are.
I'm going to Google cloves while you are tweeting the other stuff. So cloves are aromatic flower buds of a tree of the family, oh my gosh, Myrtaceae. I'm going to mess that up. Native of the Maluku Islands in Indonesia. Commonly used as a spice, cloves are commercially harvested primarily in Bangladesh, Madagascar, Zanzibar, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, yada, yada, yada. All right. There you go for cloves.
Here's one that we've talked about in recent episodes. Apple cider vinegar apparently is good for heartburn.
Yeah, apple cider vinegar. I drink it every day now, guys. I take a tonic. I posted on our Facebook, so check out our Facebook, Treadmills and Tangents. Every morning I'll drink a glass of water with 2 teaspoons of apple cider vinegar, 2 teaspoons of lemon juice, and 2 teaspoons of cranberry juice. And not the cranberry juice cocktail. That's loaded with sugar. The real cranberry juice that
like the diesel fuel.
Yeah, just bitter, like really sour bitter. Like you can't really drink it. And I mix it up and slam it down. I do it in the morning and at night. The reason being is that it's supposed to be good for your liver, help get rid of the fatty liver deposits, and helps regulate blood sugar. So I've been drinking it for about a week now in the morning and at night. And then, I feel pretty good. I mean, my blood sugars have been stabilized and low, but I'm also watching my diet pretty close as well. So I encourage everybody to check it out. Try it, It's actually tasty. It's a good summery drink, very citrusy.
I like apple cider vinegar. So a couple of weeks ago was St. Patrick's Day. Did my corned beef and cabbage because that's what you're supposed to do. And so I do that, and I just lather that stuff up with apple cider vinegar. I love.
Did you really?
Apple cider vinegar on my corned beef and cabbage.
That sounds like
amazing, and it's not diluted. I mean, it is Just straight out the bottle, right on top.
No, I love vinegar with me. Some fish and chips, some malt vinegar, smooth malt vinegar. Oh yeah, fish and chips. You guys don't do that? You don't put vinegar on your fries?
I don't eat
on the
fries.
Yeah, I'll do it on
Yeah,
fries.
that's what fish and chips are.
I
Chips
don't
are
eat-
the fries.
I don't eat fries, man. I don't eat chips either.
False.
Are you lying again?
I haven't
Like,
eaten.
I ain't putting no vinegar on my wavy lays.
Not on the wavy lays, but on some
make-
steak fries. Some vinegar's good.
All right, so back to natural
Did you just lie
painkillers.
about your diet again?
We are so off topic. So ginger is good for muscle pain.
Ginger, I'll buy that. If you some of the golden milk recipes I've come across, they'll some ginger and some cinnamon in there with it on the turmeric. They'll
Okay.
put some ginger in there.
Cherries are good for joint pain and headaches.
Cherries are very low glycemic as well, by the way,
Interesting,
so they don't spike your blood sugar.
and they're tasty.
And actually,
very
if
tasty.
you over in Hy-Vee, they got the tart cherry juice concentrate.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I'll shoot. In fact, I think I'll start adding that to my tonic in the morning and at night. Tart cherry juice is incredibly good for you.
Turmeric for chronic pain, which we've
Yes,
talked
we know
about
about
several
turmeric.
times, and we never tried the golden milk, which
Wonderful
we were going to
world
try
of turmeric, yeah.
a couple weeks ago. So at some point we'll get to that again. But
We
I take
We
turmeric.
just keep putting the turmeric on the back shelf for some reason.
I put I take turmeric in one of the supplements that I take. The weight loss has helped my joint pain also, but I recently ran a 7K, and normally I would have to ice my knees and
What's
such after
7K?
Like recently,
4
that's
point-
like this morning.
4.35 miles.
Okay.
So
What's 5K? It's 3.2, right?
3.1.
Oh, 3.1.
So
right.
so ran that. Normally after a 5K, I'm icing my knees and nothing. Felt great.
you think it's
felt
because
bad.
of the turmeric?
I think it's a mix of obviously the weight loss. I mean, losing that takes pressure off the joints.
And your back and
Right.
everything.
But I think even then, and the day before I squatted fairly heavy, so I was a little worried about my legs and knees and stuff, but nothing. So
So you run a lot. You enjoy running. I hate running.
I run a 5K every weekend, and then I try to do a fun 5K
I like doing
once a month.
sprints and like interval sprints, but I hate running.
Yeah.
I used to
Pretty
hate
boring.
it, but I think as I've lost weight and gotten better, but I also am able to like, it's a good place almost for like meditation for me, where I'll get lost
Okay.
in thought.
I'm just the opposite. I get bored within the first quarter mile.
Mm-hmm.
Like I could see how people do it with headphones on, and some people are like I just get in the zone. I've never found the zone.
And that's where I do.
The
And
runner's high. I don't believe it. I think that's crap.
well,
I'm
Sam's
usually
run
like, so when's this
a
gonna
half
happen?
marathon. You ran
I've
a
done
full marathon.
full marathon and a half marathon.
Why?
Well, I used to, when I first
Oh, he's a
started
crazy.
Here's the thing.
when I first started fitness journey, running was how I started.
Here's the thing. In the world of predators and prey, predators and prey, either you're chasing something or you're being chased. And my thought is, if after 100 yards I haven't caught it or I'm not away from it, I'm turning and fighting. So
That's fair.
Why would I run?
You're pushing all the other
Let alone
runners?
26.2.
He runs a 5K. He's the only one that finishes because everyone else is knocked out.
You know, I when I drive around, and I shouldn't do this because it's probably worse than texting and driving. If I see people running, I'll try to see the look on their face to see how much pain they're in. Because I've never seen anybody run and their face not look
I
like
think I
it's
just
in pain.
zone out.
Like,
And I listen to,
that's-
I don't even pick my playlist.
I
I'll just
don't-
go grab one and I'll just let music play and just try to get lost.
I have never seen somebody running and the look of enjoyment be on their face.
You need new friends, man.
Have you ever seen, when you drive along the road and you see people running, do you ever see the look of enjoyment on their face?
I would say I've seen it. I've seen at the marathon. I've seen people with it.
I don't see any.
Was that
signs.
Running a
was that-
marathon even.
Was that delirium? Is delirium a word?
I think if you look through
Delirious.
tears, as Sam was
Delirious.
crying, everybody looked happy because he was so rough.
Tears of joy finally made
Tears
it.
of pain.
I'm not saying running's a bad thing.
Sure.
Like
It's
like,
not for
if
everybody.
If you
though.
can toe run, like anatomically toe run is the way to run. If you go heel toe, that is not good for your body. There's too much shock on your joints.
It's
and your
interesting you
knees.
bring that up. So I just read an article this week that debunked that theory altogether. They said people that run like ultra marathons, it doesn't matter if you're a toe runner or a heel striker, if you run the way you run and you have the correct shoe, it doesn't matter.
No, but see,
So they're
they're
basing it all
taking,
off the
they're,
shoe.
they're allowing the tool to dictate what's correct and what's not correct. So the tool is allowing. If you look at how the ankle and the knee and the hip is built, to heel strike takes out the ankle, right? It takes out all the shock absorbing from the ankle, the knee, and the hip.
It was on like Discovery or
wanna
something.
sell you
They're talking
more
about
shoes.
but it was on Discovery. It's like ultra marathons, and they're talking about like how
First of all,
how much oxygen you can take in. And there were some other factors too.
running
It's
100
called
miles.
marketing.
But they were doing it the same people. It doesn't matter if you're a heel strike, a middle strike, or a toe strike.
They sold
Didn't
you a
matter.
pair of shoes.
Yeah.
They sold
I already
you a
had
pair
my
of
shoes.
Think about this. I
I
want
sold
you
you
to.
the
I
next
want
pair.
you to go outside
Do-
and run
I
heels
got-
first on the concrete.
I
Tell me
do.
how that feels.
I got lectured in Thailand about how to run on my toes for 2 miles. It was a brutal conversation.
We were running to warm up one day, and I was teasing Tim about running. What was I teasing you about?
I don't even remember.
Who knows at that point?
Right.
But and then
oh, yeah, I
this
forgot about that. That's
this
funny.
other person in our group actually took our conversation as serious, and I was just messing around with him. And Tim proceeded to get lectured about the proper way to run for another 40 minutes, and I just ran away
We both bailed
and
him on
left
that
him
one.
there.
And that's
That was
true friendship.
that was a terrible friend thing to do. I'll
So,
admit that.
speaking of running and stuff, so peppermint's supposed to be good for sore muscles.
Okay,
Pineapple is good for stomach bloating and gas.
interesting. So eat your pineapple with your beans.
Water is good for general injury pain, which I think water is good for anything.
Water's good for
you,
anything.
you could.
Yeah.
Water is good for yes.
Yeah, water's good for all of it.
Horseradish is good for sinus pain. So if you have allergies
doubt.
and stuff, that might be an interesting thing for
Did
someone
you know
to try.
horseradish, depending on what part of your tongue it hits, will have different sensations. In other words, if it hits certain parts of your tongue, it'll taste sweet, it'll taste sour, it'll taste hot. It'll taste
Interesting.
cool. Yeah, a lot of foods are like that.
I must
Horseradish
keep
is one in
hitting hot
particular.
You
What
gotta
did you
think
say?
for
I must keep hitting.
He puts it on the hot
spot.
spot all the time.
You like horseradish?
Cam hits the hot spot all the time with the horseradish.
And the last one is blueberries is good for bladder and urinary tract.
Blueberries is one of the
urinary tract
superfoods as
infections.
far as one of the most complete
Blueberries
foods on the
are
planet.
cool.
Blueberries, yeah. You see, if you Google all the top 10 foods, blueberries are always on the top 10 list, top 5 list in a lot of cases.
And it's tasty.
And it's tasty, yes. Little blueberries and some cream, love it.
I
Some
put
heavy cream and blueberries.
blueberries
oh,
in my
delish.
yogurt too. I'll do the
Delish.
full fat yogurt, cut up a little bit of blueberry, and
Give me some full fat yogurt and go, baby. I
keto
like
on.
it. Nice. All right, that's what's trending on.
That was one of the things
tweets.
trending on Twitter this morning.
That's
Absolutely.
what's going on with the tweets today. All right, fellas, here we go. I want to play some fact or fudge. I want to test your knowledge.
Uh-oh.
Test your knowledge. You guys got. No, I was about to say you got whooped off bomb by the fourth graders, but you actually
We won.
You
We won by
You beat-
2.
You beat the fourth graders. You
Thank
did.
God.
Yeah.
You won by 2. Okay, fact or fudge. You know how it goes. You tell me fact or fudge. Here we go. Sea salt is healthier version than regular salt.
Fudge.
Fudge. Cam.
I'm gonna go fact.
Cam had that look like I've never heard of sea salt.
No,
Sounds like-
I got some in my cabinet.
Yeah,
I don't know the
It is in
answer.
fact fudge. It's
Salt.
It contains roughly the same amount of sodium per teaspoon, around 2,300 milligrams, as regular salt. Just sea salt is a marketing ploy that is healthier than regular
So I'm
salt.
living a lie.
Yes, another living a lie. You are living a lie. Advocates point that sea salt contains other compounds like magnesium and iron, but they're in such trace amounts you would need to eat a dump truck load to benefit from them. And then, of course, then you have sodium issues at that point. The other thing is regular salt. You see iodized salt, so it does have iodine, where sea salt does not. So that's the difference there as well. But anyway, yeah, same. Just, same.
Same.
Here we go. This is a tough one. Energy drinks are less harmful than regular soda.
Are less harmful than regular
Energies
soda.
and soda.
Fact.
Or
Fact.
pop, depending where you're from. Or
say
soda
fact.
pop, if you're somewhere in
Or
between.
dirty pop if you're Justin Timberlake.
Sugar free or no?
Man, I don't.
Okay.
Energy
fact.
drinks.
We'll just go fact.
It is fudge. So energy drinks like Red Bull, Monster, Full Throttle. No sponsorship there. Attempt to boost your energy, claiming B vitamins, various extracts and whatnot, but really it mostly comes just from caffeine. There are sugar-free, but check this out. A 16-ounce cup of Pepsi, which has about 80 calories, as opposed to the same amount of a leading energy drink has about 280 calories. So there tends to be more sugar, more calories in
Be
the energy drinks,
interested-
unless you get sugar-free.
I was just going to say, I'd be interested of them doing like a diet soda versus the zero, any one of those.
I think at the end of the day is what's happening. They've shown that the energy drinks are more corrosive to the teeth.
That's
I
true.
think that's because of all the stuff. And at the end of the day, really, if you're looking for the energy boost, black coffee is probably your best bet.
And it's
I like
tasty.
that too.
Lower calories.
Little Americano
and
maybe.
they've
if you're
shown that
getting
people that
crazy.
drink up to 6 cups of black coffee a day live longer as well.
I better get on the
Oh, I
coffee
do
train
a whole
then.
pot.
We've been trying
on
to
the
convert
coffee
you, brother.
train.
I know. I need to get on this.
I haven't drinking an energy drink regularly. I haven't had an energy drink for over a year, but I have embraced coffee. I've embraced
But
it.
Well, there's so many ways
start
between
embracing the coffee.
The bulletproof coffee, Americanos. There's so many healthy ways to get coffee.
I'm really
Yeah.
trying to learn to like black coffee. It's a little too bitter for me now. Right now, I drink coffee in a whole lot of half and half. And sometimes I go straight heavy whipping cream. Today I had what's it called? A bleve? Is that right?
Never had it. Don't know.
Bleve? I was downtown. We had Erin Hurley in for a seminar. And before taking her to the airport, we went downtown to grab a bite to eat. She wanted to see something authentic to Omaha. So I took her to the old market. And I had a bleve at this coffee shop. And it was basically, instead of milk, they used half and half. Well, the guy making it screwed up. So he hands me my cup of coffee, and I'm just hanging out. He goes, "Hey, can I get that bleve back?" I'm like, "Did you hand me the wrong thing?" He goes, "No, I actually made it with heavy whipping cream instead of half and half." I'm like, "Dude, even better."
Right.
Even better. Because I'm
Fats.
all about more to better. Butter makes it better.
Absolutely.
So it was delish. Oh, man.
I'll have to try
it was
that.
awesome.
He said delish.
A bleve.
Black coffee. So before I got on keto and such, I was a sugar, and my coffee had to be
Foo-foo coffee.
right. My coffee had to be a color
You're a
that coffee
foo-foo.
shouldn't be. Right.
I've been doing black coffee
So I started
for years.
pulled back, and then I got on Americanos, which the first one I took.
That's just regular
I took
coffee.
a drink. It's espresso and water is what an Americano is.
Isn't that coffee?
It's espresso, so it's different. Anyway, that's a whole other conversation. So
Espresso is just concentrated coffee. And then
Right.
if you water it down, isn't it coffee?
it's an Americano. So
Somebody write into us and explain the difference to me.
So we will sample.
watered
We
down
will sample.
espresso
We'll make a
becomes.
black coffee and an Americano, and the taste is different. But the first one I had was so bitter, it hurt my face. So as I got more into,
Did you throw it on yourself?
maybe.
Hurt my
I mean,
face.
I didn't know how it was supposed to work. So as I got more into intermittent fasting, I finally was like, all right, I'm just going to try straight black coffee. If I'm going to do true intermittent fasting, I'm not going to do my bulletproof coffee. And I tried the black coffee, and I was like, as I've gotten myself off of sugar and all this other stuff, it was fine.
So Dr. Axe, we talked about him about with the bone broth.
Right.
He advocates coffee enemas.
Pass.
Yeah, well, I'll
I'm
pass.
good.
Hey,
No, thank
I
you.
don't.
No, thank you.
What?
Why?
Is it an iced cup? I mean, I mean,
Straight to the pot.
it's
You get an
early. There's a
Americano
lot
in that,
of
you
questions.
get a-
Straight from the pot.
The best part of waking up is
Shoot it.
Folgers and you're never mind.
Wow. Folgers in your never
And
mind.
scene.
And cut to commercial. All right. Okay, so yeah, we determined that energy drinks are more harmful than regular soda. Here we go. Good segue from energy drinks and soda. Fruit juice can have more calories and sugar than soda. Fact
True.
or fudge?
Fact.
Fact.
Yeah, fact.
Sure, what they said. It is fact. An 8-ounce glass of apple juice has roughly 115 calories compared to only 95 in Coke. A cup of grape juice contains 36 grams of sugar, almost 10 more grams than the same amount of Pepsi.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So if
Well,
you're
my
sitting...
mind went straight to those cans from concentrate.
Oh, the concentrate
Yeah,
cans of...
yeah.
You know you can make wine from those? Fruit juice concentrates, yeah.
Oh, teach me.
You can for you. Yeah, we'll have to do that. But yeah, so people that sit back and just like, oh, I eat healthy. I was just eating grapes. You're actually just eating sugar pills at the end of the day. It's good for you. Sugar
Why
pills.
not?
So careful of the fruit juice. When I tell people about cleaning up their diet, I say, man, you got to cut out the sugar, and that means the fruit. They're like, fruit too, even grapes. I'm like, yeah,
But
it's-
bananas are
it's
super high in sugar.
Except for green bananas. Green bananas are showing has less of a sugar effect on your body, less of an insulin effect on your body than ripe bananas.
Interesting.
So green bananas, it has that, what do they call it, the restricted starch effect as well. Okay, one more. Here we go. Eating egg yolks will raise your cholesterol.
False.
False.
Or fudge, sorry.
Fudge?
Pass.
Pass. Cam passes. Well, we do know egg yolks contain cholesterol, right? Dietary cholesterol. That's true, but there's no research supporting that it will in turn increase your blood level cholesterol as well. So eat the eggs, especially yolk. A lot of nutrients are in the yolk.
I love the yolk.
Don't avoid eggs.
I'm over easy guy.
But you know,
Yeah,
I've
scramble.
trained with Martin Rooney, and he's so funny. He'll be like, these diet things, one year it's good to eat eggs, next year it's not good to eat eggs. And eggs are good, and eggs are not good. Eggs are good. That's all there is to it.
They're really good.
More and
when you
more are
have
coming
cheese and
out.
bacon in them.
Wake Forest University researchers reviewed more than 30 egg studies and found no link between egg consumption and heart disease. A study in St. Louis found that eating eggs for breakfast could decrease your calorie intake for the remainder of the day.
Wow.
Boom. Imagine that. Breakfast
One
is
egg,
most important.
70 calories.
I have no idea. I know one
I
egg,
believe
one large size egg has between 5 and 7 grams of protein. That adds up in a hurry.
Absolutely.
That adds up in
A tasty hurry, too.
Cool. Okay, I said last one, but this is really the last one.
Fair enough.
Decaffeinated coffee is not actually caffeine free. Fact or fudge?
Fact.
Fact.
That sounds stupid.
I don't know what his answer is,
That
but
sounds stupid. That is, in fact, fact. Most decaf coffee has some caffeine. A decaf espresso, for example, can have as much as 16 milligrams of caffeine. A decaf latte, which contains 2 shots of espresso, adds up to the same amount of caffeine as a can of Coke. Wow. So when it's decaf, there is a little bit of caffeine.
interesting.
Interesting. Yeah, so when you drink your decaf coffee...
Food truck time.
Is that our
Food
favorite
truck.
truck? That is our favorite
All
truck.
right,
What
it is.
food truck
What do we got
bring
today,
us?
food truck?
We've got granola.
Ooh.
Granola. We've got Warrior Mix granola and Sola granola. And we're rhyming. We're a poet and we don't know it.
Dr. Seuss would be proud.
Dr. Seuss would be proud. So Sola is that Hy-Vee's brand of
It's not our brand, but it's something
solely
that they're pushing.
carried.
It's
Sola
exclusive right now.
is solely carried
solely
by
carried.
Hy-Vee. So we have Sola. We got maple pecan chocolate.
I got double
We
chocolate.
got double chocolate and almond vanilla. Fully. This is a little bit better than our experience with the veggie burgers that we had last show.
Double chocolate like Cocoa Krispies.
Cocoa double chocolates like Cocoa Krispies. That's always
The vanilla
good.
almond, very good.
So I will say this: there's a high amount of fat in this. Most granolas, when you get them, they're just loaded with sugar. They just basically put a lot of brown sugar on some oats and bake it. So these have 10 grams of fat in a 1/3 of a cup serving, and 9 grams of carbohydrates, 7 grams of protein. So this is really a good, almost a complete meal. Those of you doing keto and things like that, there's a high amount of fat in it. A little too many carbs. That's because there's some sugar in it, 3 grams of sugar. But
Third cup is quite a bit, though. I mean,
for all intents and purposes, this is a good granola. A lot of granolas have a ton of sugar in them, so you really got to be careful, especially when you eat granola bars. I know a lot of people think, "Oh, I had a granola bar that's healthy," but they're covered in chocolate. There's chocolate chips in them.
right. The whole bottom's chocolate.
The whole bottom's chocolate, and there's a ton of brown sugar in it. They use a lot of brown sugar and molasses and things like that to stick it together. Tim just made a face. What did you just try?
The maple
maple
pecan
one?
chocolate.
But speaking of, they actually have bars too.
Oh, Sola has bars as well. Awesome. That is pretty tasty. Yeah, both are pretty tasty.
That's
We also have Warrior Mix,
Winner.
which says "Be Free" across the top, which leads me to believe it's sweetened with honey, which it is. Basically, it's just a granola with honey as a sweetener. Now, this also, Warrior's Mix, has a lot of fat. Actually, more fat than the Sola. This has an average of 13 grams of fat per 1/4 cup serving, 9 grams of carbohydrates, and 4 grams of protein. The Sola they're both 1/3 of a cup servings. Oh no, Sola's 1/3 of a cup, and the Warrior's Mix is 1/4 of a cup. The Warrior's Mix is a smaller serving but more fat, which is really cool.
So and we're trying the Clay's Chocolate Buzz Warriors.
This is
mix on
soft and
side.
chewy.
Yeah.
The Nola is more of like a hard granola that we're used to.
Right.
These are almost like soft little
like-
brownie bites.
Yeah, I was
almost.
just say they're like almost like a little fat bomb if anybody makes anything like that.
A fat bomb. How would you describe a fat bomb? What's a fat bomb?
A lot of people that do keto will make them.
It's just chewing on a stick of butter.
That'd be all right.
No, like I know
That'd be,
it's
that'd be all right. Oh, these are good. Man, the Warrior Mix, these are good.
They're really good.
Which one did I just grab?
The first one was that.
So we got
I
we got Hagen's Berry Bomb, which is loaded with berries, almonds, seeds, honey, and berries. And we got Augie's Original Mix, which is clean fuel with almonds, seeds, and honey. And then we also have Clay's Chocolate Buzz. Oh, I want to try that one. That sounds tasty.
That one was rather tasty.
They're both pretty good so far.
These are all good. What I would say is if you're looking for more of a traditional granola, the Solar granola, very good. Low sugar, a lot of fat. Really good. Double chocolate, almond, vanilla, and maple pecan chocolate.
Oh wow!
If you're looking for something a little more chewy with some more substance, the Warrior's Mix is very good. Very soft, almost like little granola bars. But again, a little bit more fat in this. So if you're more of a keto person, this is the way to go.
That
And it
berry
uses
bomb.
honey.
The berry bomb is the best one of the three in my opinion. Outrageous.
Agreed.
The berry
Wow.
bomb.
Very bomb, good.
A lot of different flavor. It is really good.
I feel like the Warrior's Mix would make me feel more full, whereas the Soul is more of a snack.
This also feels a little bit more like me as a keto person taking that. I'm like, ooh, this is a little treat. Like it's like a little more like desserty, or like I feel like I'm getting something a little more fun than just the traditional.
Sure. The Warrior's Mix is honey, so if you like the advantages of natural honey, that's the way to go.
That's really good.
Whereas the Sola sweetens it with actual sugar, it looks like. So and stevia. Sugar and stevia.
That maple, the maple pecan soli was really good. The vanilla almond was also really good, but the maple pecan one was outrageous.
Those are good.
They were all good, but I mean, if I'm having to pick a favorite, that's where I'm going.
No doubt. Okay, folks, looks like we're running out of time. We hope you enjoyed the show. You're listening to Treadmills and Tangents, your health and wellness talk show. This is Coach signing off along with my wellness warriors.
Have a good day, guys.
We'll see you guys next week. You're listening to The Answer, 94.5 FM, 1420 AM.
Tune in each Saturday morning with fun banter on what it takes to live a healthier, happier, and more vibrant life in the Big O. Treadmills and Tangents with Coach Aaron Cerrone and his army of wellness warriors.